All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. It's a late night one. It's gonna be a real quick one, so I hope you enjoy it for what it is. It's Chig. It's late night with Chig, and this is where I talk to you about just relative football things that are not just happening around Arsenal, but football generally. It just so happens that I've been talking about a lot of Arsenal stuff. In this particular episode, I wanted to focus more on Henrikh Mkhitaryan. Um, he came out today and explained the reason why he left Arsenal. Incidentally, he did that at the same time that the Bordeaux manager explained why Kashani left Arsenal. I guess today was confession day. I don't know. But essentially, Henrikh Mkhitaryan came out and basically said that he's just been unhappy in England. I think anyone who's watched Henrikh Mkhitaryan play in England, United fan, Arsenal fan, they would tell you the same thing. Yeah, he looks like he's unhappy. He looks like this league never ever suited him. He basically came out and just said that he was desperate to leave in the end because he just felt desperately unhappy in England, and wanted to initially return back to Italy. Got on the phone to his agent and just pleaded with him to make the deal and make the move. Um, it really does present the question, though: who really got the better end of that deal, the Alexis deal and the Mkhitaryan deal? And it's something that, because obviously we play United towards the end of the month, it's something that I'm going to ask Stel, who's obviously one of my good friends who supports United, and I tend to do the United previews with. Who really got the better end of that deal? Because when you really think about it, as Arsenal fans do, they got gassed after that first game where Mkhitaryan got himself 3 assists. Now, to be fair, I was a little gassed too. I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? This guy is a good player. I told Stel from day one he was a good player. Uh, he has some talents. Hopefully, maybe Arsene Wenger will be the guy to unlock it rather than, Jose Mourinho. And then I started to see what Stel was talking about. There just wasn't enough work right there. I know a lot of people are deceived by the fact that Mkhitaryan worked quite hard or drops off a lot. He really doesn't. He plays like, when he doesn't play well, actually he plays like someone who hides away from the ball. For an attacking player, he doesn't ever look like someone that wants the ball, that wants to take on the man. He doesn't ever demand the ball and say, right, give it to me. I'm off. I'm gonna set off and attack the man. And he always played like a scared little bitch to me. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, as much as I had a lot of problems with Alexis towards the end, and I'll admit it, I did. I thought people were unnecessarily gassed by him towards the end. But it was just a massive contrast between Alexis Sanchez from Henrikh Mkhitaryan. It was just a massive contrast. In Alexis, you had albeit a timid person behind the scenes, but on the pitch, someone who would demand the ball, demand quality around him, and demand the ball so that he could be that guy to take on the whole world. That was his attitude. Whereas in Mkhitaryan, you had this guy who was happy to be a background player, was happy to, just coast along, do his thing, but still expected to play week in, week out. And Emre came in, and Emre, I think, quite rates him. I'm convinced. I think Emre likes him a lot as a player. I know that sounds weird to say, given the fact that he's just left the club, but also keep in mind that this motherfucker played in the last game. What was his last game? Was it Burnley? No. Was it Liverpool that he played in his last game before fucking off? and played on the left for some weird reason, and played terribly for most of the game. And it was just like, so if you knew he was going, why did he play? Sorry, it was against Spurs. Yeah, sorry, my bad. If you knew he was playing, why did he play? Why did he play that game against Spurs of all the teams you could play him against? Um, and just put in this lackluster performance as well. But I honestly think that Emre played him because he likes him as a player. He likes it. You think he rates him as a player. And in theory, you can understand it. He's two-footed. When Mkhitaryan plays, and it's very rare, but when he's about that life, he's two-footed, he's very aware, he's got good technical ability, low center of gravity. Isn't necessarily the fastest over long distance, but has decent acceleration to him. And can influence the game, which is what you want an attacking player to be able to do. Unfortunately, we rarely saw that. Bar a month, I think, last season where he was pretty much unplayable, especially around January last season. He was fantastic. Then he got an injury, and then he was out for a month, and then never returned back to the player that we at least started to see glimpses of. I go back to the original question. How big of a failed experiment was this? Because when we were analysing this deal initially, people were gassed. People were gassed about the fact that, oh, we've got a better player, and, Alexis's best performance for United was on that piano. And yeah, all right, maybe. But I think you've got to analyse it to really get an idea of who was in a better position. You've really got to analyse the teams now rather than the deal itself. You have to look wider of the deal. You have to look at where the two teams are in retrospective to each other. You've got United, who they are an absolute fresh canvas. They've got young players that are powering that team. They've got an exciting talent in Daniel James, who started very quickly. A lot of people are already saying he's better than Nicolas Pepe, which, don't get me started, that is tomorrow's subject. I will tackle that subject tomorrow. And you've got a manager in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which, I don't particularly rate, but he is a United legend. He is someone who at least the players will respect. Versus what we have now, where we have an exciting looking team, a team with a front three that looks threatening, a defense that is worse than useless. But actually, if you had to pick between the two teams who looks like more of a team that's on the up, surely you'd pick Arsenal. Surely you would pick Arsenal. And I think in the end, that's kind of how you've got to judge the situation. Because no doubt, both things were expected of the players. And in terms of the swap deal itself, maybe it's not the worst, but I would say it's probably the most disappointing swap deal that's ever been. You had two. I wouldn't necessarily put Mkhitaryan in this world-class bracket, but Sanchez certainly in the world-class bracket. Whether you say he's a world-class player is another question, but definitely in that bracket, in that discussion was Alexis Sanchez, and then just turned into a completely different specimen of a player when he went to United, versus a man in Henrikh Mkhitaryan, who people were saying was the next coming of Ozil. Apparently, they meant that in a good way. What it turns out is they meant that in a bad way, because all he was just someone who was coasting, who was just getting by, doing this thing, being a background player. And if we're being honest, probably his biggest and best contribution to the club was his, Pierre, want to come over here? That's his biggest contribution to the club. Other than that, he's not really done much. So when he says he wasn't happy in England, bruh, stay in Italy. Do everything you can to perform well and stay in Italy. Do everything you can. Because if you're not happy here, there's no point coming back here. Because I read a story yesterday of how you said, oh, well, just because I'm in Roma doesn't necessarily mean I can't come back to Arsenal and train hard and perform well for the last year of my contract. No. How about you concentrate on Roma and then focus on making that move permanent for you and your family? And in that way, your England experience is but a distant memory. So that's how I feel about it. What do you guys feel about it? Please leave it in the comments below. See some of my regulars in there. Hello, Starboy, MJ, Mami, Papa. Saw VP in there earlier. Don't know if I missed a donation from you, VP. Do let me know if I have. Please do stick a like on this video. There's only 5 likes on the video. Come on. Definitely smash those likes if you can. I will stay on for another. I got to jump in the shower and get some sleep. So I'll stay for another 5 minutes and I'm out. 5 minutes. So coming up to 12 minutes I've done live so far. So let's stay another 5 minutes and I will get going. It's definitely the worst swap deal ever. Possibly Lindbergh Cam. Definitely the most disappointing. Definitely the most disappointing. It's just a deal where no one got anything out of it whatsoever. Didn't even get cash out of it. It was just 2 players that people expected so much from. Admittedly, us less than United. I'm sure United could not believe their luck. Thank you, VP. I see your donation. Thank you, mate. Could not believe their luck. Only for that to happen. It was just like, what? Starboy, would I take Carrasco? No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I didn't rate him highly in the first place. We've got a right winger. Arguably, we need a left, but I wouldn't be Carrasco. I'll tell you, you can't imagine, even though he's played 4 games or made 4 appearances and hasn't scored a goal, you can't imagine how happy I am that we have Pepe over Carrasco. And I thought Carrasco was a decent enough player, and had push come to shove, yeah, I would have had him. But now that we have Pepe, it's just like, no. We can afford to be a bit more choosy about the type of caliber of wingers that we get in. So, no. Five-minute overtime fund. Both were huge contracts too, yeah. Saved a lot of money on Henrikh Mkhitaryan on his. Some people say it's 170, some people say it's 180, some people say it's a full-on £200,000 a week. One thing's for sure, he was on a lot of freaking money. So to get that off the wage bill, even if it's just for 12 months for now, will help a lot. And I actually hope he does well there. Listen, I don't have anything against the guy. He hasn't killed anyone. It's just a shame. It's a shame because I can see there is some remnants of a player there. And I'm not sure what happened. Not sure when it happened. But I'll give Stella's due. He was always right. He called it from day one with Henrikh Mkhitaryan. And he was correct. Alright, 90 seconds more, guys. Please do crush that like button. There's 25 of you guys watching. I know it's super late and YouTube doesn't do notifications anymore. But please do stick a like on this video. It really does help the video get noticed, especially during times where YouTube aren't notifying people. It really does help. So please do stick a like. Yeah, I'll tell you what though, Boots, it's happening to everybody. There is a theory about why YouTube is doing it, and it's supposed to be something to do with saving money. So it's something I'll talk about another time, but it's happening to, allegedly, it's happening to a lot of people. Boots, what up, Chig? You need to name your new film show Chig Cinema. I don't know, man. I'm looking at the votes for that. Chig Flicks is winning and winning well. I will say that. Big shout out to everyone who has voted, by the way. I put 2 polls, as promised yesterday. 2 polls. One on Twitter, one on YouTube community. And I stuck my choices for my YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, where I just review movies on there. Let me tell you something. Chig Flicks is winning, and winning well. Thoughts on Wentz being 80 over and Guendouzi being 75 rating in FIFA 20. People take them FIFA 20 things real serious, boy. Like, I saw the amount of people that were triggered by the fact that Aubameyang is an 88 instead of over 90. It's like, if Aubameyang's okay with it, which he was, I did see his Twitter earlier, why the fuck are we bitching? It is what it is. We obviously have a different perspective from what FIFA thinks. And by the way, FIFA always get this type of shit wrong. So I don't even know why people are... Is it going to affect your footballing supporting experience? Is it going to stop you from buying the game? You know the answers to those things. So stop dwelling on those things. So no, I'm not that fussed, as you can tell. Thank you, Boots, man. Appreciate it, my brother. How is the pattern coming along? Soon come, brother. Soon come. Chig Flicks. See, Lundberg can't like Chig Flicks as well. Alright, guys. It was just a quick one today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do stick a like on this video. I know I bang on about it a lot, but it does help. So do stick a like on this video. I'll be back tomorrow with a much longer show. Probably about an hour tomorrow. Got a real hot topic debate, and that is Nicolas Pepe. And will people just get off his nuts and just let him develop like a normal person? That's going to be my topical video tomorrow. So make sure you get tuned for that one. That one, I should probably drop that around about the 9 o'clock mark, something like that. So do keep an eye out on that one. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm out of here, people. Take care. Enjoy your night. Peace.